Hi, hello, it's Pip here from queenpipcards.com. Welcome. Today I am sharing with you how to make a couple of organisational items. This week over on my Facebook page I've been sharing organising tips, how to get your craft stash into good order so that you can make cards quickly and easily. There's no fuss, you don't have to find everything. It's all about getting yourself organised so that you can just get on and do the crafting, which after all is what we all want to do. So this is a box. In fact, let me show you my original. This is my box that I have had for years. When I first started, you can tell by the designer series paper, this is a really old set of papers. When I first started with Stampin' Up, this was one of the first things that I made, and it was an organising box for Framelits. Well, actually I've used mine primarily for embossing folders. So it was a design I got, well, it must have been one of Sam's first designs, because it was 3 years. She's been around 5 years, I've been around 7 years, so it's about 5 years, 6 years old that I made this. As you can see, it's not doing too badly considering it's that old. So that was the first box pretty much I made for my organising of things, but I wanted to bring that up to date, so I made a new one with the Garden Impressions paper. That's this, and two of the new colours. This is Shaded Spruce and Seafoam, soft seafoam, sporting some of the new Shaded Spruce ribbon along with a bit of the Whisper White cotton ribbon. And I thought, well, that's lovely, because now I can put my new dies inside. They fit nicely. I've got 2 inches of room here so that I can fit some more dies, and that's great. Except when 5 years ago when we first started, we only had dies that were that size, but now we have dies that are this size, and can you see they're too big? So you can't even get them in sideways, there's just no way around it. They're not going to get in there. So I thought, there's only one thing for it. I'm going to have to make an upscaled version, a larger version of this box that will fit these dies. So that's what I'm doing today. So I'm just going to pop that over there. So you don't need very much, you just need some cardstock and some designer series paper. One of the other things I'm sharing with you this week is how I store my scraps. I just use one of these A4 pocket pages that you can get. Pop the name of the, I don't know if you can see that, that's soft seafoam. So put the name on a sticker, and then in here are all the bits that have already been chopped up, so I don't start a new piece of cardstock unnecessarily, and they're also ready there in case I just want to do a small embellishment, chop up something or do a die cut, etc. So you'll need one A4 sheet of soft seafoam. You'll need some Shaded Spruce, so this is not quite an A4 sheet. This is for your toppers, and you'll need some designer series paper. Now I'm making mine to match. It's going to be a seafoam base with a Shaded Spruce layer rather than the other way around, but it's still using the Garden Impressions designer series paper. And this is a stack that comes in 6x6. It coordinates with some beautiful colours, lots of the new ones, but also some that you probably have in your stash already. So Calypso Coral, Mango Melody, that's new. Melon Mambo, Night of Navy, Pacific Point, got all of those. Petal Pink, Powder Pink, Soft Seafoam, So Saffron, Shaded Spruce and Whisper White. So some beautiful colours. As you can see, I've been chopping it up and using it quite a lot. You get 48 sheets, so you get 4 of 12 designs, and they're, to be honest, they're a bit bold for me, I thought, she said. When you look at something in the catalogue and you think, oh, that's not for me. Oh, that's not for me. Those designs are too zizzy, too bright, even though I'm a bright kind of a girl, they were all a bit full on. But actually working with them, and when you turn them over and you see the other side and the softness of those sort of background sheets, and that, look at that, all those roses, aren't they gorgeous? So I changed my mind. I now love these as I do quite a lot, and I've been using them a lot. I've designed 2 classes with them, which you will see over the coming weeks and months, obviously, as I share online. But I love that one. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely stunning. And that's not bad. It's a bit flowery, but you know, it's nice. So I don't have the stamp set to match. I don't think it necessarily needs to have the stamp set to match because they're all very random. And the flowers, even though they're roses, you know, we've got quite a lot of flowers that would work with that. Some of those look like tulips, you know. That one's pretty. Almost, I don't know what that is. Delphiniums? Something like that. Somebody will tell me. You know, so I don't think you necessarily need the stamp set, although it is a lovely stamp set, and I actually, you know, probably will end up getting it because, you know, I'll see something that I love. But for me, it didn't spring out the page as something that I would want. So I just bought the papers and thought, I'll go that way. Look at that. That's so springy, isn't it? Isn't that lovely, that side? What did I used that side, but look at that side. That's pretty. But I did think that actually these would look beautiful on a box, and I think you'll agree that they do look beautiful on my box. So this is what we're doing, but obviously we're making it larger. Okay, so now we're going to start assembling the box so that it will fit our new dies. So you're going to need a piece of soft sea foam. I will learn these names, and then another piece. We're going to have a piece of shaded spruce, piece of soft sea foam, and a piece of paper, designer series paper. This is the Garden Impressions one. So obviously Garden Impressions is already 15 point something, so I cut this one down. So 15 centimeters by 7.5. Then you can have a seafoam layer, which is 8.5 by 16.5, and then a shaded spruce, which is 9.5 by 17.5, and then that will fit very nicely when we do our box on the front. So those are the pieces that you're going to need for that. Then we will need some additional soft seafoam, so you can't quite get it out of one sheet, but you can get it out of 2, and that's because we need some extra pieces for the sides. So let's get going. You'll need your trusty trimmer. Okay. Oh, I've got a bit of light there, sorry, that's better. I've put the arm out because you're going to need to see all the way over here. So we don't need our cutting blade. Make sure that your cutting blade is away from you. You're going to be, apart from the first thing, you're going to be scoring. So the very first thing you need to do, and in fact the only cutting that we need to do at this point, is we're going to trim the paper down to 29.5, because it's actually, it's almost 30, but it's not quite. It's like 29.7.5. So we're just going to trim it down to 29.5. So so we've got nice, easy numbers to work with. So we're just going to get rid of those extra millimeters because we don't need those. Okay. Then we get rid of this cutting blade completely because now we're just going to be scoring. And we're going to score each side at 1.5. So I use, I've got a bit of glue there. I use this side 1.5 centimeters. So we're going to come in here because it's so much easier to score on this side 1.5 than it would be to try and score at like 1.5 centimeters here and have it all dangling over the side. It doesn't make it stable. So if you then turn it around and do that again, 1.5 centimeters, just there. There we go. And that's all we do for that side. Then on the other side, with a long edge to the top, you're going to score at 14.5 and at 19.5. Okay. There we go. So that's all the scoring done. Now we do need to make some additional pieces. These need to be just under 5 centimeters in width, and they need to be 10 centimeters in height. So just check you've got enough to do both. So I'm going to do 10 centimeters that way, turn it round and do 2 at 5s, just under 5, and this is to stop the sides getting too bulky. Okay, so do those, they're your side pieces, and then you need to, these boxes have got this diagonal edge here, which is nice because it gives a bit of extra support at the back. So you're going to make those diagonal edges, and to do that you're going to mark your cardstock at 10 centimeters. So you're going to come, no, you want it the other way around. Other way around, Pip. So you're going to come here and you're going to take this score line and you're going to line it up with your 10 centimeter mark. And the good thing about this is it's not just here, it's also up here. So you can line it up there, and it should line up with the line down here, because the centimeter lines go all the way down. So you know you're at 10, and you're just going to do a little tiny mark on the edge of your cardstock there, and then bring it down and do a little tiny mark at the edge of your cardstock there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to cut between the top and those marks. So you're going to turn the cardstock around until you line up this score line and this little notch here, this little edge that you've just done. Okay, and then cut that off. Don't need that bit. Okay, and then you're going to do the same. Whoops, turn this around, and you're going to line up this little notch here with this edge here, like so. There we go, and trim that off. Excellent, and that's how you get those two even sides. And I'll show you why you need 10 centimeters in a moment. So get rid of those, don't need those. Okay, so now we get on to assembly. So we're just going to find my bone folder. We're going to fold and burnish these. Okay, whoops, there we go. I love a box that's really simple to make, and this is got to be one of the simplest boxes you can make to store stuff in. And as I say, over on my Facebook we've been doing a whole week of organisational tips, things, because I did a week a couple of months ago and everybody loved it, so I thought I'd better do another one. So I've been sharing all my tips for organising things. So if you hop over to my Facebook page, I'll put a link in the description below, but if you hop over there, then you can search for hashtag organisational tips or something like that, organising tips. I'll put the hashtag below. Okay, so cut up these two middle sections. Okay, there we go. Okay, just give yourself a little notch. All this does is it just removes bulk from the corners, because you can see that you've spread the fibres of the paper as you've been scoring and burnishing, and so you don't want to add any more bulk to things because you're going to be adding an extra side in anyway, so we want to be careful with what we're adding in terms of bulk. Okay, so then we take our two little flaps here, right, and we're going to glue these down on the outside of the flaps, these tabs. Okay, we're going to stick these on and position them so they're straight down the middle. So they're basically just extending those flaps really to make the side pieces. Yeah. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. Doop-a-doo. There we go. Sorry, I just hummed, didn't I? Oh, I'm terrible. I do that all the time. Sorry, it's second nature to me now. start singing. Okay, I'll try not to do that again. So they go there, that's how they go. And then we're going to take these, on the inside, okay, so that we have a nice clean outer edge. Yeah. So we're going to, did that show up on camera? Just checking. Should have done. Oops. Did it? Oh, maybe not. Okay. So we're doing this. Okay, so they go that way. So all down here. Notice I'm not going too close to the edges. That's because it will squish out. So we don't want to do that. So that one comes up like that. There we go. And glue. Really get in there with your bone folder. Get a nice solid edge. I probably should have put the front bits on first, but you know, never mind. We can do them afterwards. We have the technology. It's called glue. So there we go. Get that lot in. And again, glue up to the top. Whoops. Get in there with the bone folder, right to the corners, make sure it's nice and secure. Good news is it's quite an open box, so we should be able to get in and glue it. It's hard when there's small boxes, sometimes you can't. Now the good news is you know when to stop gluing here, because it's at your little notch mark that you made for when you were doing your diagonal. So it's basically at the end of the diagonal. I'm going to do these two together at the same time, because I'm reckless, but also because it's easier. So just bring that up to here. There we go. And then bring them in, stick, and in and stick. There we go. And then this is where the bone folder really comes into its own. Get right inside there to give that a good... Oh, sorry about that. That's an alarm. Probably telling me I should do something, like make a video. There we go. That's cool, isn't it? So now we're going to do the ribbon. So the ribbon and the layers that I did before, I did around like this. So it's using the white. This is the white cotton 1 centimetre ribbon, classic weave, which we've had before. It was carried forward, which I love, from the old catalogue. I love it when they carry ribbons forward because it's so nice to use some of the ones that are my favourite with the new ribbons and the new embellishments, etc. that they bring out. So yeah, I'm glad they did that. And then the shaded spruce comes as a part of a pair. It comes with the have I got it? Yeah, here we go. It comes with this one, which is Petal Pink, which does actually match some of the papers in this designer series paper pack, but not this one. That's a bit no. So I decided not to use that one. I decided to go for the shaded spruce, which I just think is, just look at that, isn't it yummy? It's kind of got a slight shimmer to it. It's very subtle. Okay. So first of all, we're going to stick our layers down. Look at that. You see, that's beautiful too, isn't it? That's really nice. But I think we need the flowers. Look at this. Okay. Lots of glue. Well, not lots of glue, but you know, a decent amount. There we go. Pop that down there. That's straight. You know me and my eyes, I'm not sure that is straight. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, and then onto the seafoam. Seafoam, it just, you know, it just sounds lovely, doesn't it? Soft seafoam. Yeah. There we go. And I think I'm going to have it going that way, so the flowers go up. with the ribbon coming across. Yeah. So turn it over, and then using snail, just give yourself some stick, oops, down that side to attach the first ribbon. And the first ribbon generally goes in like this by eye. And I work out roughly where I want that to be. I want it to be there, and then I go back onto the paper and make sure it is indeed straight, which I think it is. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Then we go back with some more. You're going to need to put some more snail over the top of your ribbon to get this to stick. And go back in. And this obviously has to sit in the middle of the Whisper White. So just make sure you attach that in the centre. There we go. Isn't that pretty? And then I just go straight over the top of all of it, because the glue will soak in through the snail and really hold that ribbon down firmly. Okay, let me just bring this back in, pop this back on. Oh, look at that. That looks nice in the soft sea foam. Let's just make that, get that straight. That is straight. Lovely. Even though I say so myself. Now, here comes the moment of truth. Oh, that looks like... Does it need a bit more? Let's add a bit more Tombow just in that corner. There we go. And probably need to hold, because I didn't hold that down. Sometimes you just need to hold it for a moment so it binds to the paper or card. That's better. Right. You can always give it a good running over with the bone folder from the inside. That also helps. Now, the moment of truth. Does it actually fit the new dies? It would be very embarrassing if it didn't. But I haven't made a test drive one. Oh, look at that. It does. Excellent. Isn't that better? So now, yay, now I can have pretty storage for my large, look at that, for those ones. And they'll fit the large embossing folders in. And I can have pretty matching. Look, aren't they cool? Could have made that down just a little, but I'm being pedantic and a bit OCD. But you could measure, you could make sure that they sat, but mine aren't going to sit next to each other. They're going to sit kind of over here, like this, so people won't see that they're slightly off. But you could be, you know, you could move these down, make sure they're exactly even if you wanted to, if you wanted to be precise about it. But aren't they pretty? I don't know which one I prefer. I don't know whether I like the light version or the dark version. You'll have to tell me which one you think is nicest. Yeah, let me know. Okay, so there you go. That's how you make some organising storage for your embossing folders and your dies. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I use today, just, you know, obviously the card, the ribbon, the papers, etc., then please do so. All the details will be below in the description of this YouTube video. So thanks ever so much for watching, and come back again soon and enjoy your organising boxes. All right, take care. Bye.